Four, please. Welcome back to the Golf Shenanigans podcast. I'm your host, Avery Kindred. Welcomed again by my three friends, Carson, Josh, and Andrew. Guys, how are we doing?
I'm doing well. Back in school, spring break is over. Had a nice weekend of watching the players. Ready to get back on the grind. Looking forward to the Masters.
Carson, how's it going?
Doing okay. It snowed outside today, so that's awesome for the golf game. But yeah, it was a pleasure watching the players with me and Avery were able to watch together. So it was a good time. Good weekend.
I can't believe it snowed again. Like, I thought we were out of the woods. I walk outside this morning to go to work after watching Rory win in the playoff. I was on top of the world, and then I walk outside and my world comes tumbling down.
Truly
Andrew?
devastating.
Yeah, we got finals week coming up here on this Tuesday, Wednesday here. It was good to watch a little bit of the players this weekend. Fortunately, here it was not snowing this weekend, so was able to get out and play a little bit of golf. So, yeah, first tournament's next weekend. We're looking forward to it.
How we looking going into finals?
Pre-final odds. I mean, we're pretty much minus 10,000 to pass all four classes. So, love
Oh,
to see
hell yeah.
it. Love to see it. So, yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I guess we'll jump into it a little bit. Rory wins. He wins on a Monday on St. Patty's Day. Irish prevail once again. His second Players Championship. I famously said to Carson before the tournament even started, even if he wins, even if Rory wins, does this even really do anything for his career? Is he at the point where, it's only a major can kind of move the needle? But then come Sunday, and that take fell apart, and I was like,
Mhm.
I need Rory to win. This will do so much. A two-time players champion, that's amazing.
Yeah. I remember you saying that, and my response to you was like, yeah, I agree because I had already kind of forgotten that he had won at Pebble earlier in the year. Like, it just seems like for Rory, it's major or bust, but the players does show every single year after watching it why it's called the fifth major. Like such an entertaining golf course. Um, it always just finds a way to show up, it seems like. And Rory being a two-time players champion is absolutely huge for his career. Not many people can say that. And yeah, it's huge for him.
Yeah, I agree. It puts him into some elite company for sure, but does sort of feel like not as exciting as if somebody else won, frankly, just because it's Rory and our expectations are so high, especially with the playoff Monday. I feel like with him against JJ Spawn, it's just sort of like Rory won. So I feel like today it sort of was lacking a little bit. But part of that is, due to just Rory being him and the players definitely doesn't mean as much.
Yeah, I woke up this morning to watch it at 6 o'clock Pacific. I had to go to work at 7:30, so I was like, let's wrap this up quick. And I could tell from the opening tee shots that it was gonna be smooth sailing. It looked like two different types of golf. It looked like a pro-am out there, honestly, watching Rory
Wow.
hit first and then JJ Spawn just kind of uh queef it out to the right.
Yeah. Seemed like men versus boys, kind of. But JJ Spawn did have a great week. I mean, we can't just completely disregard that, but
He did such a good job dropping the golf ball.
yeah, he did. Crazy.
10 out of 10 execution on the drop there. But we're gonna talk. I kind of want to get to how like 8 iron from 130. I mean, I know there's a lot of wind. Avery was the one that was watching it. I'm not gonna lie, but didn't get up to watch Rory win. I figured that was gonna be kind of a waste of my time if we're being honest. I mean, we all knew Rory was winning, so I took the extra couple hours of sleep. But 8 iron from 130. I heard Rory talking with Johnson Wagner about how he was playing like a 147 shot. I mean, that's a lot of wind. But even that's a lot of club and 8 iron from one like what was it 127 I think the actual yardage was.
Yeah, it was
I thought Rory hit a nine,
I think he
Rory did
did.
hit
Rory,
9.
yeah, Rory
and
did hit a 9.
Spawn hit an eight.
Yeah.
17 this week was very fascinating for me to watch because I've watched the players now for a while, and I this is the first week where the only thing I cared about when they made contact was the ball speed. If
Yeah.
if it was above a certain number, I was like, "Oh, that's going to be in the water." If it was below a certain number, like, "Oh, it's in the water." It was kind of exciting. Like once when Rory hit his shot today, I was like, "That's going to be pretty good." And then when Spawn hit his, I was like, "Whoa, what? Why is
Yeah.
we reaching this ball speed right now?" And yeah,
Yeah.
sure enough, he just flies it straight in the water.
Yeah.
Especially
I
with
think
Rory, like he was close to the back edge too.
yeah.
Like,
The big
um,
difference that I noticed watching that playoff was like the flight of their shots totally different. Like if you go
mhm.
and watch the two shots on 17, you can tell that Rory took too much club, flighted it, just hit like a 3/4 nine, and then JJ hit a 100-foot apex, which is like what everybody's looking for with a normal iron shot. It's like,
He said, yeah, he said that he was expecting, he was on the range on TrackMan with the wind, saying like I need to hit this number, and then he said that he felt like he did that after he hit the shot on 17, and he was like, if anything, I was telling it to go. I was like, I was worried it was going to come up short in the
Yeah.
bunker, and he
yeah, I
was
saw that.
surprised that it just flew straight through the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another thing to take into account is like he's hitting those on the range with TrackMan, right? Like, yeah, it's smart. I'd be doing the same thing. But like once you get to seven, you know how much adrenaline he's probably got? Like you
Yeah,
hear people talk about
adrenaline.
adrenaline all the time. Like if that's me trying to hit a soft ass, like I would have almost just jumped on a nine and been like, I'm gonna take my fate. Like either
and
it's gonna be
and the
damn
wind
good or not.
the
Yeah.
wind is different there with that stadium aspect. I
Yeah,
can't
totally
imagine
different.
the range has that stadium effect.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
interesting how they do it on the coverage. They have like the metrics for on the wind and where the wind's on the tee and like on the green. And I never
mhm.
like really like brought into fact like the wind's like obviously different on the tee than it is on the green. But there's like they can't feel wind like on the tee. Like or at least
yeah,
very much of it. But then when they were showing the graphics of the on the green wind, it was like 10 to 12 miles an hour. So I mean like for me, I'm probably just splashing that one in the backwater 10 days out of 10. So before I roast JJ Spawn too much for plunking in the water, I mean, odds are I probably do the same thing. So
Same here. But I feel like the whole way he went about that was just like incorrect. And like Rory's experience and maybe like shot making ability really showed there because like sure he like tried to get that distance dialed in on the range and like sure he was hitting 8 irons and they were going this far. But like when you fly it that high, you're just leaving yourself up to the chances of the wind. You know, it's
yeah,
not a constant thing. It's always changing. As opposed to
yeah,
what Rory hitting it a knockdown, it's much more in his hands, like him hitting his number. Like JJ
yeah.
Spawn hitting it 100-foot apex, he's just sort of leaving his fate up to the wind in a way. So,
Hmm.
I
yeah.
think one other
Yeah.
thing that we should talk about really quick is how Rory this morning just goes driver pitching wedge on 16. Are we kidding me?
yeah, I have I'm watching the all the shots from the playoff and I see exactly what Avery and Carson are both talking about. Um, that drive from JJ Spawn on the first tee,
Yeah, it
or
was
sorry, the
weak.
sixth, the first, yeah. I mean, you could have just told him it was over right there, and he would have been like, okay, cool, whatever.
But
But
driver pitching wedge, that hole's what, 527, I think it is?
I mean, it's not a short
Yeah.
par five by any means, and he made it look way too easy.
Like he made it look like a short par four.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
that line he
Yeah,
took over
the
the trees, I was like, I'm just watching it for the first
Unbelievable how
time.
far they hit the ball, dude.
I think the
Yeah.
with that
announcers
win,
said, oh, go ahead.
sorry, I was gonna say with that win today, it set up so well for Rory to
It
just hit
totally
that
did.
massive draw. It wasn't even a massive draw. You could just hit it straight over the trees, and the ball could get pushed left with the wind. It was
Mhm.
just howling downwind, and yeah, having Rory having the honor on that tee is just not
Yeah.
ideal for JJ Spawn.
Yeah.
Like
They should
he
have
got
just
to
shaken
see what he
hands.
was going. He got
Just
to see what he was going up against, and it's just like, yeah, I don't have that shot in the bag, man.
Literally.
Yeah, just watching this guy pump it 370 around the corner and have a pitching
So
wedge where you're
crazy.
like hitting a pitching wedge into the green. Like it's kind of unreal.
Yeah.
And
And that
that
was a really impressive wedge going into the green. It was from like 180 something, howling
Mhm.
downwind, and he put it to like pin high. It was very impressive.
Yeah,
yeah.
that is
Yeah.
impressive to be able to control your distance like that in that wind.
And
Rory's
that's
just a damn good golfer. Like
Yeah.
Rory is so fucking unbelievable at
When me
golf.
and
Hmm.
Carson were watching it this morning, like I think the announcers might have said he has wedge, but he said to me, like, because I didn't hear, he's like, Rory has a wedge in, and my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah.
And then like we can save it for another podcast, but like then Carson brought up like the ball rollback, and like I've been anti rollback, but then I was like, okay, we need to roll this back. Like Rory just took advantage of this
I mean,
whole
he made that par five mincemeat for
yeah.
him. Like it was not cool.
And it,
JJ Spawn is probably like, what the fuck is going on here?
JJ
how
This
Spawn
is
would
far
have
not
liked
down
that.
was
cool.
Rory
JJ
McIlroy compared to
Spawn would
JJ Spawn?
JJ Spawn
I
would have
mean,
liked the rollback on that 17T though, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Took a few yards off that one. He would have been a big fan of that one.
well,
JJ
speaking
Spawn
of
is
like,
pro rollback after that playoff. Everything about it, he is pro rollback now.
Yeah.
He's like
He's
the
like,
biggest
get
like
this
lead on
shit
the
together.
PGA Tour. He's like, we gotta roll the ball back, guys. We gotta do it. I can't do it anymore.
on 18 yesterday, like Rory hit 3-iron, what, wedge into that green?
Yeah. It
Three
was like
iron, 3-iron, 9-iron.
3 iron 9 iron, I think it was.
Was it downwind
He
or
came up
something?
pretty short. No, or yeah, it was
It
a
was
little
downwind, but not
downwind.
much.
Man.
But it's like that. It's supposed to be like if you're hitting iron off the tee, you're giving yourself like a mid to long iron in because you're just trying to hit the fairway. But
Yeah.
he got he had the perfect draw around the corner, got a good bounce. I mean, he came up really short with that 9-iron, but
Hmm.
still, like it
Yeah, I mean
was
Avery,
that hole is what, 476, I think it is, 18. And
yeah.
he's
Yeah,
hitting
18's
3 iron 9 iron. Are you
yeah,
fucking
yeah. We
kidding me?
we were talking about that
yeah, it's
today.
bad.
Avery, when you were watching this weekend, and I know you were saying something about the ball speeds earlier, what range were you typically seeing the ball speed numbers at? I mean, was it like probably like what, 100 to 108, 110-ish? Probably around that with a wedge, yeah?
Was JJ Spawn today at 108
No, it was more
or
than that.
no?
No,
Oh,
Rory
JJ
his
was
was
Spawn's
like
today,
108.
120.
yeah.
He was at
JJ
His was
like,
like
Spawn's was
112,
120. That's why I was
113.
asking
it
because
was
I mean
crazy.
he was a whole 10 miles an hour
The
ahead of Roy
the
there on ball
front
speed.
pin location, I was like, just hit 104. No, it was one of the backhoe locations. I was
Yeah.
like, if you hit it 104, you're you're gonna be safe. If you hit it 106 plus, you're flirting with disaster with how firm the back of that green was.
Yeah.
Because if you landed it pin high, it was gonna one hop deep into the water. So it was a very fun viewing experience in that lens, giving us that data. Just I didn't even care what club he took, any of them. I
Yeah.
didn't care what they were hitting. It was all about that ball speed. Although Tommy taking lob wedge from
That was
to
crazy.
I cared about that decision a little bit.
Literally, I vividly remember me and you sitting there, and I looked at you and I'm like, Tommy's hitting lob wedge. This is in the water, and then he hit it in the water, short.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? What was the caddy conversation there? What went wrong? I need to know. Like, did they do math wrong? Like, what happened
Yeah, it
to
was
where
so
we pull
funny.
60
They had
degree?
it in meters. They forgot to switch it over to
Yeah,
yards.
they had it in
Uh,
meters.
I mean, everyone was coming up short because I mean, I guess for good for good reason because like the balls were one hopping, but like you gotta like it's a pretty deep green like
Hmm.
and for whatever reason we saw in the Creator Classic the guys spinning the balls off the front edge. That didn't really happen that much in the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they were so scared.
I feel
I
like it
don't.
was the fact that 17 was downwind a lot. In the
Yeah.
playoff, it was into the wind, which I feel like if I'm hitting that shot, I would much rather be into the wind than downwind.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get a wedge to that back pin downwind, that's
Yeah.
gnarly. I don't even
Impossible.
know how I would go about that. But into the wind, you can get it to land soft.
Mhm.
Like, I honestly don't know how I would go
As
about
long as it's
hitting to
not an
that back
8-iron
pin.
from 130, right? I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I was just watching the coverage there, and yeah, Rory's ball speed was 110, and I mean, like I know he was saying, Spawn was saying at the press conference, like, yeah, I saw Rory hit 9, but I mean, if you look at this is actually a really good swing from Rory because I mean, typically if you see him go at these wedges. And just kind of like the
Mhm.
scoring clubs is like for him. I mean, Carson was saying he's obviously really dialed and really good. Um, But that's something I don't really see from Rory a lot. So that was good to see.
Yeah.
But that doesn't even make sense why he would look and see nine, that Rory hit
Yeah,
nine, and then have him hit eight, because it was clear that Rory hit a knockdown, like a
yeah,
three-quarter shot. So that would, if you're gonna hit a full iron, JJ Spawn, then you're gonna hit the full nine.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
almost
really
seemed
weird.
like he was like so, it seemed like in the playoff he was so shaky and like
Oh yeah,
Oh, he hit
in
zero good shots,
it
not
seemed
one.
like
Yeah.
he
Honestly, his best
prepared
shot
hard
was
for
that one.
17 on the range. And I feel like he had like a hard time escaping that plan just because he was so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like he was probably
Most
so
flush
nervous
shot
on
he hit was
17.
that one. He flushed it in the water, but it was flush at least. I
Yeah.
mean, if that
Yeah,
ball
I
lands
guess.
on the green, that's probably a kick in. He had the
Yeah.
perfect baby cut right
yeah.
onto the slope,
Yeah.
and he just hit too much glove.
Just unfortunately
But
apex over the pin.
yeah, fortunately, it was 15 yards long. But
Yeah.
He should have ejected himself a little bit earlier than that anyway in that playoff. His second shot on 16,
yeah,
he was leaning like that should have gone in the water, and he got bailed that
Yeah.
it ended up in
that
that
was
bunker. Turns out he just chunks it out of the bunker anyway.
Yeah.
But
And then
he almost
leaves
got
And then
away.
leaves the putt short. Like I mean,
He almost got away with no blood on that hole. Like Rory
yeah.
almost
yeah,
three
Rory
putted.
almost three
yeah.
putted.
Yeah,
Gosh.
I just,
Crazy.
especially in the playoff, like, I mean, it's easy for us to say sitting behind the screen and not being in that situation. But I mean, like, I feel like, especially with who you're going up against, especially with that birdie putt, we got to at least get it past the hole. I
Yeah, one
mean,
would think.
yeah, I mean, like I say, I mean, it's easy for me to say when I'm sitting behind a screen, but I mean, we got to
Yeah.
give it a run. We're trying to win here. I mean, we're not trying to win second. We're not
Yeah.
trying to lock up a check here. You've got the check locked. You just got to go win the tournament.
Yeah, no matter what, you will finish second, JJ.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's
You
like
could
what,
make it 12.
25?
Your
Yeah,
floor is so
exactly.
high.
You could go out and go full Trent Ryan and dunk 12 balls in the water on 17 and still
Yeah,
get what, $2 million? It's
literally.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it's brutal.
But
Also, that chip
Rory,
the chip that he hit after the drop, man, that's uh, tough spot to be, man.
I
Just
thought that was really
right,
interesting
wrong
too.
guy, wrong time.
Because like on his penalty shot on 17, he was still like so blatantly flustered. Like he was so confused what the wind was doing. Like he was battling his caddy on it. And he's like, I
Mhm.
swear at one point he said, like, what's going on? He's like, I don't
Yeah,
know
he's
what
probably
club to
blacked
hit.
out.
yeah.
Oh,
But Rory, he for the three full swings that mattered in that playoff, he was perfect, and he was hitting shots that he didn't have before. It takes me back to the Masters last year when he was paired with Scotty in the first two rounds when it was just a hurricane out there with the wind, and he got blown out to sea, and Scotty made it look easy. And I bet right around then was when Roy realized, like, oh, I
Mhm.
know I'm good, but like, and I know Scotty's good, but geez, he's playing golf a little bit differently than I am, and he's got a lot more shots in the bag. So I have to imagine that that was a wake up call, similar to like Scotty with the mallet putter. Like Rory realized, like, I need to work on some of these shots in the wind because I can't play in this, and he didn't really have it this week, but like he was hitting those shots, and he didn't have it with his driver, I should say, but he was pretty dang good controlling his or not doubling down on his mistakes, and he was really, battling, which we haven't really seen a whole lot in his career. We saw it at Pinehurst finally, but like in the conditions in the wind, like he was really battling, and that's what really made him shine this week, and especially in the playoff.
yeah. And maybe that master sort of ties into what like Andrew was saying earlier with like the full swings versus like the three-quarter shot. Like it seemed like a lot of people in golf like to talk about how like Rory is better with wedges when he's swinging like three-quarter, sawed-off finish. Like it seemed like he was doing that a lot, and that's the shot that you need in the wind. Because if you hit a club full, you're just gonna spin it to the moon, and you're gonna have no control of your ball. So maybe he
Hmm.
like dialed that in, and it like paid off this week in the wind, and maybe that could have come from that Masters with Scotty. Could have.
Yeah, that begs the question, which I don't even know if it's really a question right now. Is Rory the best player in the world? I know Scotty's got a massive lead, in the OWGR for good reason. But like, if we were to power rank right now, like who's the best golfer in the world? I mean, it's got to be Rory. Like he's playing phenomenal golf in all aspects.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think Scotty's still my number one. Like if I mean,
If they were to tee it up tomorrow at whatever tournament, let's say the Masters started tomorrow, is it still Scotty
the only reason
number one?
I still take Scotty is Rory was just a little bit loose with the driver, especially like when I was watching this weekend. Um, just a little bit. I mean, I don't know the stats and everything like that could just totally be blowing
No, you're right.
my
No,
take on
you're right.
proportion out of proportion here. But I mean, like in the playoff, I mean, I know he didn't really have to do anything on 18, but kind of blast it way right in the trees. I mean, I would like him to just hit the 3-iron out in the fairway like he did yesterday.
I don't know. He could have won with
Um,
double or
Yeah, it
triple.
was
yeah,
so
exactly.
strange to see
Yeah.
him pull driver there. So
Yeah, that's.
strange.
I was just watching that and I was like, it's weird in the actual tournament he's hitting 3-iron off the tee, but in a playoff up three, he's just sending driver
Yeah,
into the
he could have played
hospitality
that
tent.
like a par five. He could have just
Yeah,
went 4 and wedge and won,
yeah,
and instead pulls driver. But
yeah,
he
That was
fucking won
pretty
the
He
tournament.
probably could have
So
yeah.
played a whole
Exactly. I
putter.
mean, he's a lot more richer than we are, so what do we know?
yeah,
Um, but yeah, his
But
also like
like Rory,
the putter
is that
too.
Rory doesn't win when he doesn't drive it very well. You know, like
yeah,
he won differently this week,
Yeah,
yeah.
which
He
is
said that
kind
in
of
his
insane.
he said that in his press conference. He was literally said like I won a different way this week. Like I think they said that he's only the second player in history to win the players hitting less than 50% of the fairways.
yeah. Cam
Hmm.
Smith was the other one.
Wow.
I was gonna
Cam
drop that
Smith was the other
fact.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's a
Hmm
that was an interesting fact that I heard on there, and that
And
and
Cam
like
Smith had to put the daylights out of it. I remember
yeah,
that. Like he made
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
hmm
Crazy.
Yeah.
I I feel like right now today, Rory is the better player. Um, I don't know. It's really not based off any like hard statistics or anything like that, just based off like my golf viewership, but it just seems like he's constantly there. And when he's up top, like the win at Pebble, now the players, like I feel so confident in Rory. And like with Scotty, you can sort of tell Scotty's fighting something.
Hmm.
And he showed like a lot of frustration this week at the players too,
Hmm.
which is sort of like unlike him. And, like with full swing, you sort of see how like Ted Scott really calmed him down. And that's how those two kind of blossomed. Beforehand, he was a very like heated golfer. So it's almost like concerning to me, like to see Scotty lose his temper a little bit.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of he's so used to winning, his expectations are just so high, and I
yeah,
think it's just boiling over at this point. It's like why aren't I winning? I'm not playing bad, but like he's not playing like Scotty,
Yeah.
and kind of if he doesn't win in Texas before the Masters, I honestly think that's all like he needs to win so like I feel like he has a monkey on his back.
Yeah, kind of. The only thing I was going to say with Scotty is like Scotty can play kind of shitty like he did this week. Like he didn't play shitty, but for Scotty he did, and he was still hanging around, man.
hmm
Like if
yeah,
There was
just
a
a few putts would have dropped on Saturday, I would have been a
hmm
different narrative. Like
well
Scotty is scary still.
there was a point on Saturday where he was four back with
Yeah,
like
and
halfway through the round.
yeah, wasn't even doing anything special, but it reminds me of Tiger, man. Like Tiger would
hmm
just
yeah,
always find a way to just he was a mingler until all of a sudden, like last year at the Players, Scotty just hung around, and then said,
hmm
"This is mine," and took it. Like that's
yeah,
what Scotty can do. I feel like his
hmm
floor is higher than Rory's,
Hmm.
but when Rory's playing like Rory can play, he is a hard man to beat.
Yeah.
Like
Scotty's floor is
hmm
higher than Rory's, but Rory's ceiling's higher than Scotty's. Is kind of what you're saying, yeah?
maybe I feel like their ceiling are probably the same,
Pretty the same, yeah.
but I could say that about a lot of them. Like I
Yeah.
honestly feel that JT's ceiling is hard to beat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
2015 Jordan
JT might
Spieth
have
ceiling.
like
We saw it with the
Like
course
that
record on
extra
Friday.
gear that
yeah,
like JT has that gear for like a full round, like he like at Aaron Hills in like the second
hmm
round this week. We haven't really
Mhm.
seen that from Scotty, but he'll have that same gear when there's like 6 holes left. But most of his wins, I think he just kind of outlasts everybody exactly what Tiger did. Like he's got that
Yeah.
gravity to him where it's like, oh no, Scotty's here. Like he's not going to go backwards, so that must mean I'm going to go backwards. And oh no, I did go backwards, and now Scotty just won again.
Yeah. The only other thing that I was gonna say with Scotty is, um, he's got to get his putter figured out, man.
Yeah, I was
His
gonna say,
stroke is looking wobbly. The claw
Yeah.
grip, I don't know if it's it. It's like watching him putt is just tough to watch.
Yeah,
He
because you know he's
misses
just be
so many
winning this
three
golf tournament
footers,
by
I feel
20.
like.
He misses so many inside 8 foot putts that don't even hit the hole.
Yeah.
Kind of like me.
Like it's crazy. Like, but right
I got
now I would probably say that Rory's playing better golf if I had to choose. And I think it comes down to like I asked Avery earlier, right now, if we were to draft the Masters, who are you taking with the first pick? And him saying Rory, I was like, damn it. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I think
think I'm
that
taking.
kind of gives it
I
away.
do, I do have the first pick, and I am definitely leaning Rory. If Scotty wins in Texas, or at least is like getting a top five or two, like I'll probably end up picking Scotty. But yeah, but I have the season long stats for 2025 up, and I want you guys to try and name the top. We'll do the top six
For the 2025
for the
season as a whole,
yeah for strokes gained.
altogether.
Um, yeah,
Okay,
all this
gotcha.
whole
I don't know.
2025
I don't
season.
know. I don't watch enough golf for this. This could
Okay,
get
well,
interesting.
I feel like I can do this. I'm a golf fucking
I have
nut.
some
So
guesses.
yeah, I mean,
Josh
Rory's
and I
on
are
there for sure.
I
Josh and I
want
are
you to
pulling up
pick.
strokes gains
Well,
on
who
the
do you think
internet
is
right
number
now.
one? We'll go in order.
Okay, who's
One,
number
two, three,
one right
four,
now?
five, six.
So it's just total strokes gained.
Yep.
Who's
Hmm.
number one? I
Don't overthink it.
I'm
is
gonna
it
toss out Sepp Straka, I guess.
number one?
Oh, not number one.
We're going number one. Who's number
Number
one?
one.
It's
Who's
gonna be
It's
number
got to be
Rory.
one?
Rory McIlroy.
It's
Yeah,
Rory
it's gotta be.
McIlroy. He is playing. This is only a handful of events compared, but like he's playing at like the exact same level as Scotty did for the entire season last year,
That's
which
pretty
makes
crazy.
Scotty even crazier what he
Yeah.
did last year.
I feel
But he's
like
playing at that level.
Colin is
Okay.
gonna be on this list somewhere, right?
I'll
He's
say
number
Yeah, go.
two.
Wow, what a poll, Andrew.
Well, I mean, he's been like even going back to last year. I mean, we see how many top
Yeah.
tens he's had. I mean, what he's did like 10 top tens without a
Yeah,
win.
it's crazy.
So I mean, it's not that he's been playing bad golf. He's been playing really good golf, and I think
He's
he had.
playing phenomenal.
Yeah,
Didn't he
he's
play
playing
good this
phenomenal
weekend?
golf.
I mean, I really
He
didn't
He's
did.
see him.
back to being number one in approach, and I'm trying to. Who's
Whoa.
number two? Like he's
It's got to be
Rory?
Scotty.
no
Well,
Scotty's
Henry.
number seven. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Scotty's
Scotty's
like
number
7 or 8.
seven.
They were talking about that
Wow,
on the broadcast this weekend.
that's kind of
Wow.
surprising, actually.
Number two is another guy that's on this list, but
I was gonna say the next up, honestly, might be JJ Spawn.
no, he's was he 10th?
What?
11th. He's 11th.
Son of a
He's not been
bitch.
playing. He's really good with the
I
irons.
thought he went
JJ
like
Spawn is-
second, third, second.
I lied to you. I was
Oh, I've
confused
been
too.
given false information. Okay.
I accidentally sorted by best finishes. So,
Oh no, I've been
Oh
boned by
no,
Avery.
Avery.
Let everybody listening know that that guess was based off information that Avery gave me.
I
That was
apologize.
false. That's crazy.
JJ is third in approach for this season. But I
Wow.
wanted to go
Wow.
back. Rory,
Not on
he's
17
ninth.
though.
Okay.
Rory is ninth in putting this year.
Wow.
That's surprising.
Seriously?
Obviously, he's first off the tee. So
Yeah.
that's very
That's
bad
deadly.
combo
That's a
for
deadly
everybody else.
combo right there. Yeah. That is a deadly combo.
Yeah, and
And like
all right,
he's
so
hit good iron shots too, man.
Yeah,
could be-
Rory's,
he's
third-
13th in approach this year. So
Wow.
like he's
Way
Wow,
more
everything
than
he's
Augusta-
like
We
mint
might as
and
well
is-
we might as well film the Augusta episode.
chipping.
Just have Avery pick Roy right now because I mean it's just going to
Yeah,
happen.
this is
Yeah.
tough. This might be Rory's year, man. Rory might
But
just
I
fucking
wanted-
ball out this
I mean,
year.
how
I
many
wanted
years have
to
we been
say
saying that
something
though?
about we'll talk more about Rory at the Masters. Don't
Yeah.
you worry. Um,
Don't worry, Avery will make sure that's a section of the pod.
Colin Morikawa at 2. He is not far behind Rory in the total strokes gained. He's 0.12 off of Rory in strokes.
Wow, that's really impressive.
And there's a pretty dang big gap between 2 and 3.
Okay, so who is 3? That's what we have to figure out
Point
here.
6 shot gap
What
between
about
Colin and
Josh's
who's at number
guess?
3.
Russell
Sep
Henley.
Straka?
Oh,
Uh,
Wow. I
nope.
cheated. I cheated. I just pulled up the list. Henley and
Wow.
Straka are 6 and 7. Wow. I was not
Why
expecting
did
that.
you do that?
Well, because I wasn't gonna. I had no more guesses. I wasn't gonna do anything else.
Andrew does not know golf.
No,
And you're
the
wrong.
hand is up. The hand is
You're
up.
also wrong.
Whoa! What?
Step
Strokes
is
game
5.
total. Strokes game. No,
Step is
Tommy
5.
Fleetwood's 5.
No, he's not.
Sep Straka is at 5.
Step is at 5, and Russell Henley's at 6, which is
Okay.
pretty. That's why I extended it to 6. It's like Russell Henley. That's pretty sick.
Okay.
But
So we have
you still
Rory,
need to guess number
Colin.
3 and 4.
Okay. Are we
Andrew, obviously
guessing?
you can't talk
Yeah,
anymore.
I didn't
All
know
right,
anyway, so it's
Josh.
fine.
We got to figure this out.
I'm thinking
Are we
hard.
guessing? Are we guessing Scotty Scheffler?
It would be
It
blasphemy
would be dumb
not to, I
not to,
feel like.
right? Okay. Scotty
Yeah,
is 5.
he's number 3. Oh,
Son of
Okay.
a
I already
bitch.
told you.
Or wait,
I
I
already
meant to say
told you
4.
that Sepp was 5.
I meant to say 4.
No, Scotty's at 3. I mean, he has been playing amazing, but like he's still Scotty, and he's still playing really good relative to everybody else.
Okay. So who are we missing?
Number 4 on this list.
Can we have his nationality?
Sick. I have him. No, we're not. No nationality.
Okay, so he's not American.
South African.
I'm going.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
I'm just gonna. I just really want to give this hint. I have him on my dynasty football team, Josh.
What?
What?
You have him on your dynasty football team?
Yeah, I got Kyle Pitts on my dynasty football team.
Oh,
Tommy Fleetwood.
that's hilarious.
For
Josh,
for the
that is
one
funny.
person that might listen, if you didn't listen to the our players draft, he compared Tommy Fleetwood to Kyle Pitts for some reason.
I'll explain
Yeah,
myself. It's because Kyle Pitts, everyone drafts him pretty high every year. They have high hopes for him every year, and every year he lets us down. And so many people do the same with Tommy. All right, everyone says he's going to win a major. Hasn't even won the PGA Tour. He is kind of like a not living up to the hype guy. That's
That's
why
pretty crazy though that he's at 4 or 5. What did you say? Was it 4?
he's 4. He's
4th?
playing awesome golf.
That's
He's
pretty crazy.
really close to Scotty. Like, if he
Can
played just a little bit better
you?
this weekend, he would be bet
This
above
might be
everybody.
going off on a tangent a little bit, but can you look at that a little deeper? What is it? Is his putting bad? I'm curious.
Yeah, I have the whole thing right
Because
here.
his putting has been bad from what I've seen.
He's just slightly better than Scotty. He's 73rd in putting. Scotty
So
is
what is he
79th.
doing? What is he doing unbelievably? Is it his iron play?
He's number 2 in the iron
Yeah.
play.
That's that's
he's
crazy.
been driving the ball pretty well too. No,
Yeah, 25th.
I mean he
He's
doesn't
just a
hit
ball
it.
striking machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not gonna hit as far as Rory, but he's gonna hit it straight.
I mean, yeah, tee to green, he's number 4, and
Wow.
yeah,
That's
Scotty is
another
number 3 tee to green.
that's another guy with putting that is just hard to watch, man.
Yeah.
Like
You
I would
feel
just
like
love
you
to
can
see a
crack the
change.
door.
His
I mean, you
putting
feel
is
like
so hard to
Yeah.
watch.
he's
Yeah,
got that
Scotty's
truss putter, and it's just
Yeah,
yes.
it's so ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I mean Tommy is like Mr. Consistency. Like he plays the exact like I bet his if you've looked at data golf and you see that like 5-point little chart
Whoa.
that they have for each kind of for each stat category, I bet it looks the same basically every year. He just struggles with the putting. Kind of the same thing with Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty this year he's 7th in approach and 5th off the tee. Like he's striking the hell out of the golf ball, but he just cannot get the ball in the hole, and that's that's what we're used to before he went on that run last year.
Yeah,
Speaking of
totally.
putters, I don't know if you guys saw that Golf WRX post today of Chris Kirk using one of the new Odyssey square to square like zero torque like lab knockoffs. I mean, it looks exactly like the DF3. I mean, that's
Yeah.
it. We've been saying. I guess we could kind of talk about it a little bit, but that's just got to be illegal somehow. Like, there's just no way that is legal to just blatantly copy somebody like that. Like, it's
Me
it's
and
truly unreal to me.
me and Avery were talking about it, and it's like you would think at face value that that's illegal, but like when you take it a step further, it's like every single putter company makes a blade, like Avery said.
Yeah.
Everybody started making mallets, and then all of a sudden last year everybody started making counterbalanced. It's kind
Yeah.
of the same. It's just the shape of it that's so obscure, and then they're just like, yeah, we'll just make that, but our own.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I
I mean, I
and
guess they can do that if they want, but it is pretty crazy.
yeah, I mean, because I was fine with
Mhm.
like the square to square where they took the kind of the what's it called,
Center
the line angle
shaft.
balance. Yeah, the
Yeah.
center shaft line angle balance, and then they did that with the jailbird and then their blade putter and whatever. But I mean, to just blatantly take the DF3, blow
Yeah.
it up a little bit, and just like be like, oh yeah, it's Odyssey, like it's the number one putter in golf. It's like that's kind of ridiculous to me. And
Ver- It's very interesting to me, like how companies throughout like golf history haven't like patented a shape of a head because they are allowed to do that. Like a car manufacturer is allowed to, I can't remember the specific term, but it's like a shape design patent. And like a car company can't just go make a car that looks identical to another company's. I'm just confused why these golf companies don't do that more because like you see with like the original blade, like that was made by Ping. And
mhm,
now
Hmm.
like Scotty Cameron hopped on that. Everyone did. Everyone
yeah,
took that. And
mhm,
like ping putters are nowhere near as popular like relative to those companies. And I'm just confused why like a smaller company like Lab wouldn't try to get that patent in. Like I wonder if they
Yeah.
try, maybe got denied. I don't
That's
know.
interesting. Why would it get denied though? It's something that we should look into further, honestly, to see.
because
Like,
Lab's gonna get run out of business now if Odyssey's making the exact same putter for, I
it's
mean,
half off.
yeah, exactly, because I
It's
mean,
literally 50% of the price.
yeah, because I mean they're gonna retail it probably around $350 if I had to guess, and I mean that's for a Lab, it's like $500 just for the stock one, and that's not even if you want custom
Yeah.
engraving, custom colors, custom alignment marks,
Yeah.
upgraded shafts. It's virtually over time it's just gonna bleed Lab of their entire company, which sucks because I like Lab.
I like
I do
Lab
think
too.
I do think they still have like the advantage just because like those all those Odyssey square putters like aren't lie angle balance. Like because all those different lie angles for Lab, they have those unique screws that
Yeah,
balances on the lie angle. But to me, it's like I don't even know if I would buy that for cheaper just because
Yeah.
it feels so scummy. And like
Scummy.
again, we've seen this throughout golf history, but it's like it almost would be embarrassing to own that putter. Like you just got like the lab putter at home. Like
I wonder if some people at Lab though almost see this like you could kind of spin this in a good way. Could be like our shit is working so well that even Odyssey is copying our exact model.
yeah,
yeah,
Like Odyssey is the number one putter used on tour and recreational play. Like, and that company is copying our exact model. Like that should tell you something. Like this
yeah,
shit works,
yeah.
yeah.
which
Lab
you
has
kind of
changed
see
the
it on
game.
tour. Like at one point during the players this weekend, I looked on Saturday and there was 4 lab putters in the top 8. I'm like, that
Wow.
is pretty impressive for lab there. I mean, JJ Spawn uses the DF3, almost won. Like
Will
whatever they're doing is
Zalatoris.
working.
Will
Yeah.
Zalatoris had it going. Proceeded to make a
I don't want to
quad,
talk about
but
Will
still
Zalatoris.
had it going though. Still had it
Will
going.
Zal
Nope,
Will
nope, nope. He
Zalatoris
had
is
it
on my
going.
shit list. He is on my shit
He's
list.
the no draft list for next month.
Will Zalatoris is I stand by Will Zalatoris' caddy fucked him. He should have had him chip out. I asked Avery. I was like, his caddy needs to be fired after this round. Like if I was on the bag, Will Zalatoris might be the players champ right now. I'll
I
just
don't
throw
even
that
know
out
what
there.
Wow.
happened. What happened?
You did
Wow.
say that.
He made an 8. He hit it in the moguls on what is that, 14?
Hmm.
Yeah,
15?
14 or 15.
I think it's 14. Hit it in the moguls on 14 and tried to hit like a forehand from 220, chunked the living piss out of it, and then just absolute dumpster fire from there and walked off with an 8 and then proceeded to double the next. And
Yeah.
Will Zalatoris went from one back playing really good golf to just ejected from the tournament. It was
Yeah.
It
hard to
was it
watch.
was on 14, Carson, and for his final
Yeah.
5 holes of the day, he went 8, 6, 5, 5, 5. A combined,
Ah,
what is that? One, because we got 4, 2, Yeah, that's
Math.
just 9 over. 9 over.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, okay.
it was really high. A really high
There's
score
too
is
many
what that
squares for me
adds
to
up
count
to.
Yeah,
for Will
it was not
Zalatoris.
good.
But
Anyway,
it is really nice to see Will Zalatoris show some legitimate life. We haven't seen it in quite some time, and that's perfect for Augusta coming up in 3 weeks because he tends to. He's just kind of a major machine. Like when he was
yeah,
healthy, back when he was healthy,
he's
he was
totally a
just
major player. It's crazy.
he's going to be rising up our draft boards. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Josh, I forgot to give you your flowers to start the show. You won our first ever edition of the players draft. How does it feel?
Um, it feels good. Uh, it's always nice to take your guys' money. My second win in the history of this game that we play. And I won by a substantial margin. Maybe we'll dive deeper into it, but I picked Rory. Um, he ended up winning, obviously. That was plus 10 points for me. I did good cut wise. I didn't have too many players that missed the cut. Um, and yeah, after the first 2 days, I didn't really, I think we were all pretty close. I don't think I was in the lead at any point. Um, and then Saturday, things switched a lot with us. As expected, the winds were crazy. Leaderboard was shifting all over the place. I took like a little bit of a lead. I was in the positives. I think everyone else was in the negative. And then, yeah, Rory winning just sent it over the edge. So,
Icing on the cake is what it was. You had already won, and then Rory just gives you bonus points.
Yeah.
yep.
I just want to say something about our drafts too. Is first thing is somehow my team shot 39 over par on Saturday. How is that even possible?
Ricky
Just
Valley.
bad drafting.
Ricky
That's
It's just,
scouting
Fowler.
I
reports.
mean, I did give myself a D plus, so I couldn't have expected much. But I wasn't.
You're dead on.
If you told me 39 over though, I would have said F minus, not D plus. I mean, those guys played like dog shit. It was crazy.
I don't want to hear you speak that poorly on your team because I managed to finish worse than you. I
That's
gave
true.
myself an A minus, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
We roll the
Jordan
clip.
Spieth
Can we
away from
roll
an
the
A
clip,
plus."
Yeah,
folks? Where I
Avery
roasted
A
Avery's,
minus.
where I roasted Avery's picks right there in the middle. That Brian Harmon, Doug Gim, Thomas Dietrich, and the guy that missed the Bazootin cut, if we're referring back to the first episode there. Uh, yeah. In these drafts, I'm normally not right. So it felt good to get one thing right.
Andrew is going to be clinging onto that cliff until he gets his first win.
I
That's the
sure
thing he's going to be riding high on until he
sure
finally
am.
wins something,
That's gonna be my major championship trophy until I get a major championship trophy.
which Andrew just falls more in the hole after this week. I truly don't know
That's
how
bad.
you're so far in the hole. If you look at our
But
That's really
if you look
bad.
at our board, there is an outlier and it's how much money Andrew is in the hole.
yeah, no, it's but hey, we are trending. We did have a little second place finish this week. Did have tied for the most missed cuts, which was kind of brutal. I was watching coverage on late Friday, and Michael Kim was on the cut line at 1 under, and he had like a 3 footer on 17, and just, I mean, I'm not by no means blaming the guy for losing all this money. I mean, there was 6 other guys that played awful. Um, but man, that was just like the knife in my stomach. It just twist it. So that was tough. And then I had Akshay who was in contention, playing very well. Um, but obviously, I mean, Rory's just tough to beat, man.
That's something we could touch on really
Yeah.
quick. Is I think Akshay showed a lot this
Yeah.
weekend about who he is and who he's gonna be. Like
Yeah.
Akshay and Minwoo playing together on Saturday. I had Minwoo decided to just eject himself as well, just like Will Zalatoris. But
Full,
like,
Wow,
full
who could have seen
eject
that
button,
coming?
by the way. To quote Wesley
yeah,
Bryan, full eject button.
yeah. But anyway, Akshay was like kind of ejecting a little bit. They like almost dropped the final pairing from coverage, and then Akshay just was fighting, and somehow got
He
himself all the
battled.
way back into contention. And then, if I'm not mistaken, he was tied for the lead for a little bit on
Hmm.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
had a
he
legit
was.
chance to win the golf tournament.
And
And
2 under on the final day.
He
Like that's
he
by no
missed
means
a
bad.
yeah, the putt on
really short
16,
putt on 16
Yeah.
he
and
three
a
putted 16.
very yeah. He missed like a 4 5 footer on 16 and he also missed a pretty short birdie putt on 18.
Yeah.
So like
I
if he
mean, if
makes
those
those,
both
he's
go
in the
in,
playoff.
totally. I think Akshay showed a lot this weekend about who
Mm-hmm.
like who he is and who
13th
he can
and
be.
I
13th in
agree.
strokes gained putting for the week,
And
which is typically his bugaboo.
one other thing about Akshay that we forget, that guy is 23 years old.
Yeah, he's our age,
It
and we're
seems like
filming a
Akshay has
podcast.
been, yeah. It seems like Akshay has been around, which he kind of has, but he's 23.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
he's got 100 majors left.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Maybe you guys recall, but like back in the day on social media, I heard a lot about Akshay like when he was a teenager and he was like a really good amateur. And I had caught wind that like he was skipping collegiate golf just to focus on amateur golf, which is like a pretty big move. Like a lot of the great players come out of NCAA, and a lot of people were kind of like hating on him, taking on this different path. I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but Akshay just like stuck around and like he's just continued to improve. And like I think he's gonna be like a star. Like he's gonna break through with like a huge win soon. Like
and he's got time to grow too. I mean, like we said, he's 23 years old. I mean, he's our age, and we're filming a podcast talking about Akshay while he's our age out playing on the PGA Tour and competing and winning millions of dollars. So
Yeah, he's our age.
Yeah,
also,
Avery.
I just noticed. Well, other than Avery, because Avery's like what 37 now.
Yeah, you're close.
Ah, darn it. Yeah. Also, Tom Hoagie. Is that am I getting that pronunciation correct?
Tom Hoagie, yeah.
Yeah, just an all-time backdoor like right up the leaderboard, 19 spots on Sunday.
Wow,
Didn't
yeah.
even notice that with a little final round 66.
Shout out
Yeah,
Tom
I was like
Hoagie.
he dominated that Sunday. Like him and like we kind of people kind of gave Rory some smack for kind of choking it, not even, but like choking down the stretch and not just putting it away. But he shot like the second best round of the day
Four
of
down.
anyone in the top 20. I mean, Shane Lowry shot 500 to finish T20. No one above that played better than Rory or Tom Hoagie. So pretty sick golf there from the two of them.
I'd like to make a quick
Um,
little shout out to Lucas Glover as well, which was one of my picks. A big piece of part of my win, and like I would say like a big reason why he was on my radar during the draft was because the TGL, like for the Atlanta Drive. I think he played like one match this season, maybe two in the TGL, but he just looked solid, and he was just old, and he
He was
they
old.
interviewed
Not
him,
anymore.
huh?
He was old. He's not old anymore though.
He is old.
he, he probably holds the best interview in TGL history.
It was a great interview, and he looked good playing. And like, I didn't know this when I drafted him, but his player's record is very poor. But he balled out, and like, I'm kind of a Lucas Glover fan. He's like kind of like boring to watch, but
That's something that me and Avery fell in the hole to when Lucas Glover had a chance on going into Sunday and we started watching the 2009 US Open. Like,
mm,
you should ask them, Avery, that stat that you asked me on the majors and see what their response
Oh,
was. I mean, that's an all
yeah.
time. In
I
my
guess
opinion, that's an all time stat.
this is probably the only other time we'll ever have the chance to talk about Lucas Glover's major
Yeah.
career. Um, uh, so Lucas Glover, he's like 45, 46 years old right now. I don't have it up right now, but off the top of my head, he's played in a lot of majors over his career. Obviously, he won the U.S. Open in 2009, and he was playing some of the best golf of his life. Actually, I think that might have been the best year of his career. But how many top tens? How much Wikipedia yellow does he have in his career, just in general,
At
including
majors,
yeah, in majors at yeah, yeah,
How many
including his win.
how many has he
including the
played
win.
in? Like
A lot.
what? So it's
I could
two.
try and pull it up real quick.
That's like probably around 80, we would say.
Not that many.
Probably more. Well,
Really?
I don't
Well,
know.
because so he's
I
like
can
what? He's
pull it up.
45. So let's say he turned pro when he was 25. So that's 20 years, four majors a
Okay.
year.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So that was my guess with the 80.
Yeah.
They'll give me the exact number here in a second.
Um, yeah, but this is including his win at the 2009 US Open. How many top tens does Lucas Glover have in his career
Oh,
at major
he's played
championships?
in 50. I apologize. He's played in
50.
50 majors. How many times has he finished in the top 10?
Well, just judging off the reactions of Carson and the fact that he actually brought this up on the podcast, I'm gonna say it's something outrageous. So I'm gonna go 26.
Okay.
That's a lot of top tens. I almost feel like this is a crazy stat for like the opposite reason. Like maybe he has like three.
So, Jiz, you guessed 26 top
That's
10s
an
out of 50 events.
unbelievable amount of top tens.
Yeah, I was just
Then
guessing.
let me tell you, he's made 22 cuts. Okay,
Oh no! Oh no!
that's tough.
26
Oh,
top tens in the major is so much money.
oh no!
That's great. What? Were you?
Oh
I
no!
told you he
He's-
played in 50. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
made.
but
Crazy.
He's
I
top
just
10 in
I,
half.
I
He's the.
don't know.
That'd be the greatest.
I
One of the
don't know.
greatest major players.
Yeah, it's like
That's why this is
yeah.
why I don't ask technical questions. I just watch golf.
But
Anyway,
Josh, you guessed 3. That's a fantastic guess. He's got 2.
Wow.
2 top 10s, both in 2009.
Dang.
He's just on a little heater
Wow.
there.
Well, fuck
First
me.
at the U.S. Open and 5th at the PGA.
yeah, I thought that stat was crazy though. Like including
And
his win, he has take away his win, he has one top 10 in a major championship. Like
mhm.
that is
He-
crazy to think about.
This
He
is
played
important info
in,
for the next
uh,
draft.
He played
Yeah.
in 13 13 more US Opens after that because of his exemption basically. And he missed 9 of those cuts.
That's so
Goes
crazy.
win and then 9 out of 13 missed cuts after that.
That's so golf though.
He just
That's
caught
what me and
lightning
Avery
in
were
a bottle
talking
at
about. Like
Bethpage.
yeah, that's what me and Avery were talking about. Like that's so golf. Like somehow Lucas Glover found a way to win the 2009 US Open, and then you look at somebody like Ricky or Lee Westwood, just never got one. I mean, Ricky still could. I'll say maybe,
He
but
might win the
Okay.
SoFi Cup.
yeah, major championship. But
Major.
that's just so golf. Like he just found a way, and of course he had to steal it from Phil. But yeah,
that was-
crazy stats there.
I looked up his Wikipedia page. Now I'm looking at Lucas Glover in the U.S. Open. 2002 cut, 2006 cut, 2007 cut, 2009 win, and then 2010, 2011 makes the cut, T58, T42, and then goes cut, 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 cut.
So crazy.
So
Yeah, I should have just
That's-
included those first 3 US Opens too.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
only made 4 cuts at the U.S. Open.
that would have been
And he
helpful
has a
for
win.
me.
And he's got to win. He finished T17 in 2020 at Wingfoot. Pretty crazy.
Wow.
How do you play in the 2019 PGA, or if he even played in it? Like, is Bethpage just his spot? Maybe.
He finished T16.
Wow.
Interesting. I didn't even think to ask that, Josh. That's
That
a
was
good
one of the
question.
cuts that
Yeah.
he made. That was a really good question.
Oh,
I
Ryder
guess he
Cup.
just likes Bethpage. Yeah, Ryder Cup, Lucas Glover.
That leads us to
Sweet.
my Ryder Cup talk. Actually, that's a perfect transition there,
boy.
Josh.
Here we
Seem to
go.
know what you're doing. I wanted to propose a question. I've said this multiple times off stream. I've said most of everything off stream. This is only our second episode. But if this what I get it. It's a home Ryder Cup. It's in New York of all places. History says we're just gonna win basically no matter who we throw out there. But if there was ever a time, like if there was ever a team to be less excited about going into a Ryder Cup, a home Ryder Cup, it would probably be this year. And I wanted you guys to play another guessing game of who is in. Like I know we get 6 automatic bids and we get 6 Captain's Cup picks, but like if we were say the Captain Keegs takes all 12 of the top 12, I want you guys to try and figure out who this team is because it is bad.
Can I rip my heart out real quick and just
That's not
see
good.
that JT's not in the top 12 right now?
He's 14th. He's
Yeah.
trending, so he should be getting in there. But
So you want us to
Yeah.
try to guess the whole team? That's what you want?
I can give you.
Because I mean, we
Well, I
got for
mean,
sure,
I
right?
can
I mean,
give you-
Scotty's on there.
Scotty,
Xander's on there.
Xander, Patrick Cantlay, he's been playing good.
Colin.
Colin, yeah, Collins is no doubter there.
Yeah, Scotty, Xander, Colin are the top 3.
Is
Patrick
Wyndham
Cantlay
is
is
Wyndham
seventh.
still in there?
No. Wyndham is 17th. He's gonna have to
But
kind of
he's
kick
been
into
We're
gear.
being a
going
merchant off that
just another
U.S. Open win.
another clarifier. We're
This
going
is,
top six, right? Just the auto qualifiers, or are we
I
going
mean,
whole team?
you could go whole team.
Okay.
It'd be shocking if you guys could guess the whole team. So, but yeah,
I
let's just
was
do the 6 qualifiers. Let's just do, and I'll list off the rest. And this is the Ryder Cup points, like
yeah.
based like they're how they do it.
So
So
Scotty won,
yeah,
Xander 2.
Yep.
Did we say Colin 3?
Colin.
Collins
Collins
3.
3. Yeah.
Who did I say
I
4?
was
Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah.
He's 7th,
Russell
so he's
Henley's
just
got to be in
outside
there.
of that.
yeah.
But
Russell Henley's
Yeah,
got to be
Russell
on
Henley with the
there.
win.
Henley
I
is
was
4.
I was gonna say Bryson's got to be
4?
on there,
Yeah, Bryson's got to
Bryson is
be on there
5.
too.
What?
and
But he's gonna have
then
to play well in the majors if he's
he
gonna get this
is.
automatic spot. But I would imagine he gets picked. All he has to do is play
You would think
okay
so.
in the
Yeah.
majors. So
And then
number
last spot.
6. Who's number 6?
Man, now it's like our draft when we get like halfway through, we're like, man, it's pretty grim now. We don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you want to? It's not
I
Lucas
mean,
Glover, right?
he's 9th.
Dude, that's crazy.
Really?
Imagine
Dude,
if Lucas Glover
6,
makes this Ryder Cup team, dude.
That'd be sick
6,
at bet
8,
page.
9,
I mean, if
11.
there's gonna be the guy that's gonna play well there,
Brutal stuff.
is
Even 12 with
is
how he's
Captain Keegs in the top 12?
He's got to
playing.
be.
No, he's not. He is 19th.
Really?
Who is in the top 12 then?
Is
Anybody?
Brian Harmon still just mooching off that open
He's
win?
16th.
Thank God, get that guy out of there.
I mean, I feel
But
like we should throw
but
Akshay in the conversation.
yep, he's one of the only good names. He's number 10.
Okay, that's good. I would love to see Akshay on the Ryder Cup team.
That'd
That
be
would be so
awesome.
dope. Fellow
Would
lefty.
Bethpage work for him? I don't know, but that'd be
Yeah, who
sick.
knows? It all depends on how they set up Bethpage, though. Bethpage is so sick because you could do it so many different ways.
Yeah.
Um, but we're still
Who's
fighting
this
for the
number
sixth spot.
6 spot. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this, and this might be the worst answer in history. It's not JJ Spawn, is it?
It is JJ
Oh my
Spawn.
God,
He
dude.
is in the Ryder Cup if it started tomorrow.
Do we just
Like,
do we just
guaranteed,
give do we
you
just
have to
give
take him.
Europe this Ryder Cup? Like, I mean,
Well, I'm
God.
saying
Okay,
it's
we
bad right now.
we haven't even
gotta-
gotten to major season though. We got plenty of time, guys. Plenty of
Yeah.
time.
The Americans better take
JJ
home some
is
majors.
striking his irons right now. That plays at a place like Augusta.
But does he have the cojones? I just
He kind of
I
did
don't
on
think so. We just
Sunday,
watched
not
him
today.
crumble.
we
Not
just
today,
watched
but
him.
Sunday he did. Come on.
He
Yeah,
just got psychologically fucked by Rory.
I was gonna say if they do Sunday singles and they pair somehow Rory with JJ Spawn, like it might be 9-8, folks. Like that that would be an absolute mass destruction at Bethpage. It
Oh
would just
man,
be
that'd
insane.
be sick.
Can we just
I'll-
have a quick European side? I didn't know if you were
I'll,
gonna do
I'll,
that,
I'll,
but
I'll get over there in a second.
okay.
I wanted to fill you in on the rest of this team by the points. Obviously, these are the captain's picks, so they're not all going to get picked. But you had Cantley at 7. You have Mav McNeely at 8.
Hmm.
Glover at 9. Akshay at 10. Tom Hoagie at 11.
Is Harris
Wow.
English gonna be on here?
Oh, I forgot
Big
he won.
Tone. Big Tone at 12, but not playing great
No.
at all. He's
'cause I picked him
33rd in data golf.
It's because I
Like
picked
Mav
him this week.
McNeely is 44th in data golf. Tom Hoagie is 99th in data golf, but he's 11th in the Ryder Cup points. Like these guys, they're not going to be here by the end of the year.
Yeah,
They're
no
not even going to be in the
shot.
conversation. But the fact that like if they somehow had a magical week and won, they would jump into like the top 6.
Ugh,
So Harris was 13. I like him a lot.
I like Harris
JT's
English
14th.
Didn't he make the
Mhm.
last Ryder Cup team?
Not the last one. The one before that. He played on the
Okay.
last home one.
In the
He
Slaughter by the
played.
Water, if we're
Yeah,
He was
whistling.
on
going by
our
nicknames here.
winning
Mm-hmm.
squad.
There's not a lot
Um,
of guys.
God, we
Like they
destroyed
have
him.
this trend chart on here next to their names, and not a lot of them are trending up. It's pretty bad, man.
What's Jordan Spieth
they all.
at?
I was thinking that as well.
Jordan Spieth top 20 question mark?
No shot.
I was gonna
Where
say,
is
is he in the
Spieth?
top 40? I mean,
Oh,
he didn't play golf last year at all, basically.
He's 48th.
Ugh. We need a W from Jordan Spieth this year.
I have faith. He's still working on it, on his
We need
swing.
to
He's
we need to
finally
get
kind of
that
healthy.
we need to get that
He's
Jordan
had
Spieth Justin Thomas pairing back in
God, we
action at the
sure
Ryder
do.
Cup.
JT
if
will
he
get
just
me.
shows a little bit of form, I bet
What's
Spieth will get picked. With these names, man, these names that are in consideration, like Spieth doesn't have to show much. He'll probably get in as long
Speed
as
just
he's
has to
playing
be better
okay.
than Tom Hoagie. I mean, we're not asking for much here.
That's what scares me too, though, because you know that Keegan doesn't want to do the same thing that fucking Zach Johnson did, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be picking. You got to pick the people who are playing the best golf. That's what you have to do. And if
But
JJ Spawn
JT
is playing the
was
best golf,
not. JT wasn't like the worst guy on the
he
team.
wasn't. I agree. I agree.
JT
But
played, from what I remember.
He
I
didn't
mean,
play good. He didn't play
he played
good, but
solid though. I mean, he played way better than Jordan.
he
yeah, way better than Jordan.
yes, way better than Jordan.
Jordan
I
was
mean,
a
I know,
dumpster fire.
I know. See, like
Yeah.
the bar was low there, but I remember when they played that alt shot match, or what, I don't remember what it was. But JT carried Jordan around the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It's not a good look right now for the team. There are guys that are pretty interesting that will probably, in my eyes, make the team. Like JT is going to be on the team.
Yeah.
Like there's no way he's not this year.
Yeah.
He would have to completely fall off a cliff again. Interesting name,
Yeah.
Michael Kim. He's just playing good golf, trending up.
Hmm.
I mean, I
What
wouldn't
about
be super thrilled, but if he continues this play throughout the year, I'm like, yeah, you take Michael Kim.
Yeah.
what about Sahith? Is he even top 25, top 30 to
He was on the
even?
President's Cup last year.
He's 25th, but not playing good golf.
Yeah.
Again, like he's trending the wrong way.
Yeah.
Daniel Berger, I like that. I like him a lot. I
Yeah,
think
Daniel Berger was on a winning Ryder Cup
there's a
team too.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance that he can make this team.
I'm
Again, like
just
there's so many tough names on this list that
yeah.
it won't take a lot for some of these guys with a lot of talent to actually make it.
Just for the sake of entertainment purposes, where is Max Homa, dude?
Oh my God, is he even in the top 75?
He was
He's
on the
35.
President's. Yeah, he was on the President's Cup team last year.
Like
So
he this
That's
is him
crazy.
playing like true garbage is still a relatively new development. So,
yeah, I was just curious.
but his where, where do you think
Oh
where do you think
no.
he's ranked data golf
Oh
uh
God,
data golf rankings, which is
137.
basically a power ranking of right now.
How low does it go?
I mean hundreds and hundreds, but
Okay. I'm gonna say
137's my guess.
I
I'm
was
gonna
gonna
say
say
like
like go ahead, Josh.
180.
I was gonna say like 230.
wow. Josh, 171.
171.
It's bad.
That's
Really
crazy, dude.
bad.
What's
It's like
Ricky?
alarmingly bad.
We went over
Just
this
for-
not too. Actually, never mind. No, we didn't. Never mind. My bad.
Now we're just in eternal sadness. You're trying to hurt yourself. He's 56th in the Ryder Cup standings.
Huh.
He's got a horrible Ryder Cup record.
Yeah, he
Horrible.
does. Ricky is not
And
great at the Ryder
he
Cup.
just handed the Ryder Cup last time.
Yeah.
Didn't
That
even
was
have
a
to
tough
make the
look.
putt.
Yeah.
That was a
Like,
tough look.
As a rookie fan, it
Yeah.
was tough. I don't know why he gave Tommy that putt.
Especially the trust
Ricky
man.
is
I
one of
mean,
the
why are we
only
giving that
guys
guy that putt?
Ricky is one of the only guys that's like kind of getting better, but like getting better from like a really bad spot. So if you can continue that throughout the whole year, sure, but we could have a conversation, but it's not looking good. Like Spieth is above him, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean,
He's some
looking
more
at the Ryder
maybe.
Cup, looking at the Ryder Cup standings, like how we just did, is pretty scary. And as
Grim.
like a diehard USA freaking, the Ryder Cup is the greatest sporting event in my opinion ever. And that's if the USA loses at Bethpage, I will be so down bad. It's not even funny. If I see Rory McIlroy
God,
waving a
anybody.
European flag in America, I will hate him more than anybody I've ever hated
What
in
a
my life,
what a
dude.
year that would be. To get the players, he's gonna get the
No,
Masters. We
stop,
know this, and the
stop.
Ryder Cup on the
No,
road, dude.
no, no,
The
that can't
only,
happen.
the only thing that would make up for it is us going back to Europe and
That
beating
wouldn't
them.
even make up for it.
You
It
know,
would
I
be
think it would.
unacceptable.
I mean, but see, if we're looking at it right now. I mean, it's obviously looking pretty grim. I'm not saying we're taking the year off and just letting the
I mean,
Europeans have this, but I mean,
our
we're
number
looking
two,
rough.
our number two on the team right now is Xander, and he is falling off a cliff. I know he's hurt or got hurt.
Yeah.
He's recovering. and I have a lot of faith that he'll figure it out. But like, of course, like our second best player is just not playing anywhere close to good.
His
And
presser on
like
Friday,
our
rough.
yeah, that was sick.
He was
That was
like, "Yeah,
sick.
I'm pretty much just awful right now. It's great." I was like,
Yeah,
"That's not what you want to
I'm
hear."
just gonna rip apart my normal practice schedule. I'm gonna figure it out. That goes back like with the Masters coming up, like this is the time for guys who are struggling to they have to find it like quick. And
Yeah.
Xander is probably freaking out right now. Like he has to find it or else he's gonna embarrass himself. And that probably is part of why Scotty is just a
Mm.
nutcase out there on the course. He's he needs to get his game right. I mean, he's got his swing is good, but like he needs to start pouring in some of these putts. He putts pretty well at Augusta, but uh, anyway, the
The Masters
European
always
Ryder
sneaks up.
Cup team, the European Ryder, like they stack up so well, and they right now it's still early for sure, but they are playing really well. I mean, obviously, Rory just won, and this whole thing this year has been, oh wow, another Euro won a tour event. Oh no, another Euro won a tour event, and better that it's the first couple months of the season as opposed to the last. But their auto qualifiers are whoa. Rory at 1, Tyrrell at 2,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Rasmus Højgaard at 3. That's not going to stick.
Probably not.
Shane Lowry at 4, Ludwig at 5, Dietrich at 6.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I
Yeah.
bet Rasmus still goes, but definitely not as a auto.
It'd be
Yeah.
kind of crazy to see Rasmus and Nikolai play on the same Ryder Cup team.
Because Nikolai
Mm.
was at the last one. I don't think
Yeah.
Rasmus was.
He wasn't.
Where even
But
is Nikolai on this list?
Nikolai has since fallen off the planet.
Yeah, yeah. But data golf ranking they would include obviously they're going to include Rom and Tommy and then Sepp who just got just he was the number 1 ranked player in the world according to the FedEx Cup and Rory sadly overtook him there. But Sepp is playing awesome golf and then you got Ludwig or no, he was already on there. And you got Robert McIntyre who's playing really good golf.
I was just gonna bring that up. I was like, man, the fact that I was thinking about bringing up McIntyre absolutely disgusts me and everything that I am as an American. But I mean, God, man, it's brutal.
All those names that I
rare.
just said, those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those 8 names, according to Data Golf, top 18 in the world, all of them.
Wow.
Wow, it's impressive.
And then they got number 21, Aaron Rye, right there too. Like he's
Gosh.
playing some decent golf.
And I'm gonna put the hand up for Aaron Rye. Roasted him in the draft this weekend, or sorry, last Thursday or Wednesday, whenever we filmed that episode. Absolutely flamed the guy for the double ring gloves, and then he went out and gets a top 20. So yeah, the hand is up for Aaron Rye. That's on me. Carson, great pick.
And that's like those names, like it sounds great. And that's not even including. I mean, I don't even know if you want these guys on the team, but Matt Fitzpatrick and Victor Hovland just nowhere to be found. They're playing
Yeah.
awful,
Yeah,
but
it is pretty
Matt
strange.
Fitzpatrick splits
Premium
with his caddy
talent.
too.
Yeah,
Mhm,
split with his
that's-
caddy.
That's gonna help him get back. I promise you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the European team is somehow, some way they always find a way to be good. I mean, I've
Yeah.
watched the Ryder Cup since I was on this earth, and somehow they always find a way to just be. I mean, they had that run with like Sergio and Lee Westwood and Hendrick and those guys, and then all of a sudden they were leaving, and I'm like, oh baby, we're gonna dominate. And then all of a sudden Ludwig comes out of nowhere. Victor, Matt, like these guys that Victor and Matt aren't playing good, but last year they've mopped the floor with us.
Mhm.
Like somehow the Euros always find a way, and there's a reason I fucking hate the European Ryder Cup team so much,
Yeah,
and it's
they have
because
a-
they kicked our ass for so long.
I
Was-
want what they have so bad. Figured out how to just be a
Yep.
team.
Yep, they
Yeah.
have. It's
And-
crazy. They have so much fucking passion for the Ryder Cup.
Like,
Which-
it's got to be so
Exactly.
fun being a Euro fan.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
not fun being a US fan, really.
And
Yeah.
it's gotten better. Like we went
It's
through a
gotten a little
stretch
bit
there
better.
that was tough, man.
Yeah, the
Like
old guys are finally just gone.
2012 at Medina is probably the worst feeling I have ever felt in golf. And I'm not even a part of their team. Like I was so down bad
Yeah,
after
Carson's
Medina.
our senior Ryder Cup correspondent. If you have any questions, by the way.
Medina was tough. Anybody listening that watched Medina knows. Medina was just tough.
Who number 10 on the Euro data golf ranking? Who do you think the 10th guy on this list is, right behind Aaron Rye?
Somebody that we know, obviously, because I know there's a lot of people that are kind of weird names on there, probably.
Sergio?
Yeah,
Is it
Sergio is
really?
Wow.
trending. I am terrified for Augusta. I am
And
terrified
that
for
was
him in that all red outfit or whatever on
Wait a
the
Sunday.
minute. How
He's
is
gonna
fireballs. The
Sergio?
flare.
fireballs. He's been playing some golf, and that was gonna be my next question: is what's the live golf European Ryder Cup situation? Because I know, um, I mean, are they gonna let Poulter and Westwood like coach and stuff like that? Because I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Phil out there, even though he's just trashing everybody on the internet right now. Um,
And does
I
so
don't
Rom
know
gonna
if
Scotty
make a push
Scheffler.
for
Sergio.
the team?
I don't know if Sergio can play. I don't know
I
what that
know.
situation is like.
I know for a fact the live guys are going to play
All of
because
them. I know
I know
Rom's
that's
playing,
yeah. So I mean, if Rom is playing, Sergio can play. You
but
can't tell.
they can change the rules however they want.
Yeah,
I thought the rule was if you still have your card, like if you revoke your card, you can't play. Did Sergio do that?
I'm not sure if he did, but
But they
I know
could
that they
just
can.
change
I
the
know, yeah,
rules.
they can change the rules however they want because the rules that initially for both teams were no, and that's why Henrik was cut from being the
Hmm.
captain, which is
Mhm.
another whole crazy ass story. But um, I'm curious, how is Sergio getting points?
No, this is the data golf rankings
Oh,
though.
it is. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking
He's
about the
not
Ryder
getting
Cup points.
points.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how is that possible?
He's not even ranked. He doesn't even
Yeah,
have a ranking for the OWGR. Like
yeah.
he's been
I mean,
away for so long,
Really?
doing nothing in the
Does
events
he
that he
even have
does
a
play.
wow?
yeah. I mean, he hasn't played in a
But
major
like,
other than the Masters in
That's
three
true. I
years.
guess I didn't think about that. Yeah.
yeah, I mean
Like,
that's why I ride so hard for the data golf rankings because they factor in everything pretty well with their strokes gain data. So, but yeah, he's playing really good golf. His his fireballs have won 3 in a row. Uh, I think the second three-peat in live history for you history buffs out there.
yeah.
For all the live
He's
Sergio is
listeners.
won.
definitely playing good golf because I actually watched the not last week, but the week before. I was watching Live because Phil had a chance, and I'm a diehard Phil fan.
Was that
Um,
live Hong Kong?
Live Hong Kong, that's what it was.
Shout
And
out!
he
I want to give a
won.
shout out to
Sergio ended
Nathan
up winning.
Ben. Nathan Ben, good old friend from Western Washington, was actually in Hong Kong at the event. Was a big proponent of the or a big supporter of Live Golf. He said it was actually very like an enjoyable experience. He said you could get really close to all the players. Actually gave Phil a nice little fist bump while he was out there. Um,
Huh?
Oh my
but
God, I would
he
die for that.
Wow.
Yeah, he has been to multiple PGA Tour events. Was at the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay, here in Washington in was it 2015? I don't
Jeez.
remember when it was.
2015, yep.
Yeah, and he was a big supporter of the Live Golf, which I mean I was pretty surprised to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of their 10 fans. That's sick. I can't
Yeah.
believe he would take away from their TV numbers though. Maybe that's a bad fan.
I was gonna say that I feel like going to a live event is probably pretty fun,
hmm
but
Probably.
Yeah, I'm
man,
sure it's
watching it on
I'm sure it's
TV
fine.
is tough, dude. Like when I was watching the Hong Kong with Phil and everything, I'm like, this just feels so. There's no juice here at all. Like there's just nothing
No.
really
I
entertaining.
mean, they literally like a retiree shot 63 on during the first round. Like,
It's so crazy.
Josh, do you know who I'm talking about?
A retiree?
Yeah,
No.
I got this from another podcast. Word on the street is that this guy has not been seen at his home course to practice in a while.
Who could you possibly be talking about?
Hold on, what was that quote you
Oh, I
just
know who
said?
you're talking about.
Yeah, Carson, you know.
Yeah, I know,
Andrew,
I
you might
know.
know. I wanted to single out Josh. Like this guy shot 63
Yeah, yeah,
on
I know.
Hashtag Ryder Cup.
Think about somebody that was dominant in like 2018, 17.
John Rahm?
Now, kind of retired. Like you never see him anymore, but was dominant. Has
Like
two majors, but one of them's kind of fake.
Dustin?
Whoa.
Dustin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hasn't
shot
been
whoa, we're
seen at his
throwing
60.
practice
DJ.
course?
Okay, we're throwing DJ in the retirement committee now.
Dude,
I
DJ
mean,
doesn't play golf anymore.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
DJ is so ass, actually. His 63 was a
Mhm.
fluke. Like, if you look at his, I went into this when I was watching Hong Kong. Like, he's so bad. It's actually crazy. When he was just the best golfer in the world by like a pretty substantial margin in like 2017, 16, 18 time. Like, there was a time when DJ was the guy to beat.
That was
Yeah.
actually a pretty sick 63. No one else shot better than 4 under, and he shot 8.
Wow.
And then he
And
finished.
then he didn't win.
He finished T5 because Live Hong Kong was actually, or Live Singapore was actually playing kind of difficult, except for Joaquin Neiman, who is apparently the #1 player in the world.
According to Phil Mickelson. Crazy take. One other thing I was going to say about Liv really quick is one of my like regrets for the four of us is how we did not go to Pumpkin Ridge to watch one of the first Liv events.
Yeah.
Where
If I
was
could go
that?
back in time, I would be like, "Go, you moron!" It was at
Yeah, that was
Pumpkin
probably
Ridge,
one
which
of
is
the
in Oregon.
more interesting locations that they've ever played one too, because
Yeah,
like
super
that's where
cool.
Tiger won the AM, so
Yeah.
or won one of his AMs. So
One of 27.
The thing
It's not
is
like
it
it's-
was right at the beginning of Liv, so there just wasn't that many
it was
great
like
players.
just
It was yeah, it
we
was
were
the
like,
first
oh,
it
we
was
could
the
go
first
watch
event.
Phil
I think it was the
and
second
DJ.
event.
I think it was the first.
Was it the? I don't know. We should
And
fact
it was
check that.
definitely not the first.
Yeah, it wasn't the
definitely not
first. Yeah, it
It
wasn't
would
the
have been a
first.
huge buzz.
I was like the third or the fourth, I think. But anyway, like if it was happening this weekend, there's a 0% chance I would not be going. Like you get to
Yeah.
go see Brooks, Bryson, Phil, John Rahm,
Sergio,
even like Sergio would be cool. Like that's just a legendary
I would
player.
love to
Yellow
see the
arm sleeve.
fireballs in person.
Like, but then watching it on TV, I'm like, I don't want to fucking watch this. But like, if I can
It's
see it in
bad.
person, I would love to go. I really wish we would have gone.
Maybe they'll come
It
back.
would have been. I would have gone for the meme. I would have gone
Definitely.
ironically.
Yeah, and it was cheap too. We looked, and it was like $20 for a ticket, and we still were like, nah.
What a missed opportunity.
It's so crazy. If we could go back in time, I would have slapped myself, dude, and be like, "Go, you moron!"
I hope they come back. I hope
It would
they
be
do
sick.
something at like Chambers or something. Like, God, that would be so
That'd
cool.
be crazy.
That would be so awesome, dude.
The one thing they have left is the one like thing that they could like Hail Mary, just throw all the money at the golf courses, not the players, and see if they can just get a stacked schedule. Like Adelaide is their only good event. And Americans don't even watch it because it's on in the middle of the night, which is really tough. But all in all, that is a dub that they have, and it's like the only one that they have. But if they got courses like Chambers to get on board, the golf world would not care about who's playing it. They just want to watch pros play Chambers. So get courses like that where it'd be fascinating to watch. So yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
the last card that they have to have any shot of getting good views.
Yeah,
Also,
totally agree.
going back to the retirement home comment on DJ there. 2024, I sorry, I'm no live golf proponent here. I tend to be the one that brings it up, I guess. I thought that was kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't know, retirement home's kind of a questionable comment. He did was a top 10 last year at the U.S. Open. Sorry, the year before in 2023. And then that was the first time he hasn't been in a top 10 in a major since 2017. So that's
Mhm.
Well, he
Wait a
retired
minute,
2 years
what?
ago.
Wait,
I think
say
it
that
doesn't sound
again.
right, actually.
He finished.
So-
Yeah, there's no way that's right.
no, a top 10, like just in every like one top 10 each year.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
He had at
not
least one top
in
10 in
every
a
major.
major
Oh God, no,
since
no.
20. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, DJ was fucking damn good at golf. Like top 5
No.
player in the world for years, but
For a
since
long
Live,
time,
bro,
too.
he fishes. I swear to
Yeah.
God. He doesn't even practice golf.
Yeah, he
just
does.
fishes.
Yeah.
He doesn't really.
Like it's crazy.
That is kind of crazy that he has when did he leave for Live? He was like one of the first guys. It
Yeah, it
was
was
22,
God, and that was
21.
just
I
a
think it was
shock
21.
too.
Yeah,
20.
he
It
was
was
like
like
the
the
name on
first.
the list that was surprising the most.
Yeah,
Like, holy shit, DJ's gone.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
bro got the bag and then said, "Yeah, I actually enjoy fishing more."
Yeah, you can just see it in his
Like,
personality, like his whole history with like partying, had the coke addiction,
Whoa,
Paulina.
whoa!
whoa,
Unsubstantiated
exposing him,
rumors.
exposing him.
He,
I don't think
I
we're the
think we
ones
can
that are
all
gonna be
agree that
getting
that
into
went
rumors with
down.
you.
He fell down the stairs.
That was
Um,
crazy.
it's unfortunate that I can sort of see in DJ's personality, like he gets the bag and then he just doesn't really give a fuck. And like
Yeah,
I watched the video with Phil, Phil and Grant against DJ and his caddy. And I mean, this is sort of DJ's personality, but it just seemed like he like didn't really care. He pulled every single putt that
yeah.
he
His putting was so bad in that video. It's crazy.
and
He
like
like
He
used
looked
like
like
four
me.
different
I
putters.
was gonna say he looked like me. He
yeah.
had like 12 different putters out in the bag. And did you see his like I don't know if they showed a camera angle of his bag. I'm pretty sure they did like on the first tee. But
Hmm.
I mean there was like 29 clubs in this bag. I'm
Yeah, it
like
was
I mean
It's like a
you
crazy.
could have
bouquet of
just
flowers.
yeah, yeah, exactly. He was like,
That's how
yo,
you
we're
know
just
a guy is
gonna
searching.
yeah.
When you see a bag with 20 clubs, you're like, this guy's searching.
Yeah.
And he just does that just to go back to the spider. Like
Literally.
Yeah.
He
And he
had like
does
4 labs and he just goes back to the spider.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just two
Anyway,
thousand dollars of putters just within just like circuiting, just like nothing, and then he goes back to the $250 mallet
Yeah.
from 2016.
we have been potting for a little while now, like an hour 15, an hour 20 something.
yeah,
There's one
that's
last thing
solid.
we could talk about. If you don't want to talk about it, it's okay. I had uh major I brought this idea up to Josh last night. Major draft prizes, ideas. Maybe if you guys had any ideas for how you guys wanted to maybe improve our major drafts for this season. I was thinking it'd be cool if there was some way where like we won a prize other than just money or a perk or something for like winning the Masters and then winning the PGA and the US Open and the Open. Something different for each one because each major is different in real life. If you don't want to do that, that's fine.
So what can
It
we
might
get Andrew to buy the group for losing every draft? This is what I'm hearing.
well that was an idea was like maybe one of them could be like the winner gets a free round of golf paid for by the other three guys whenever we
Yeah.
go out. Or that could be for that one major, or that could be or that could be something that the loser pays for the whole season as like a punishment. I'm into that as well.
I think it would be interesting to do, like, if we can't come up with an idea for like each individual one, it would be cool to do like you won most points last season. So like you
Hmm.
get something for that.
Oh.
Like I won 2 out of the 4 majors, but you actually beat me in points by one. So like
Hmm.
you won the FedEx Cup, right? Like that sort of thing. I don't really know like what
Oh
we
yeah,
would.
oh my God, it's such a good idea. That's the FedEx Cup. That's exactly
Yeah,
what it
I
is.
mean that's how it works.
I
I
mean,
won the FedEx
as
Cup last
long
year.
as there aren't punishments for last place, I'm in. That's I'm just gonna put it out there. As long as there's no punishments for the
You're
last
not in.
place. Well,
Oh,
Right
this
now
year is a
at
different.
least.
I think all time
I
still
also
definitely
wanted to
last.
clarify. So on this sheet that I have that I made, I separated the players from the majors because as much as we might love the players, it's not a major. So I have a separate stat list, separate points list, separate history. All of it is separated out. So how did we want to factor it in or factor it in at all and just have it be its own thing? Like I kind of want it to be its own thing,
I agree. I think it should be its own thing.
just like
It's
a
not a
fun thing that
major.
we added on.
Yeah, it's just the fifth major, but it's not a major. I mean,
Sorry, Josh. But you can be like the greatest players champion of all time.
you're just like Ricky.
I
You got a
have a
players, but nothing
Masters. Let's
else.
not
Oh
forget I
no,
have a
yeah, you do have a
Masters.
masters. You do have a
He
masters.
he
You got
got
the
the
fake
COVID
masters.
But you
Masters.
got to have the players on the resume, so I'm
Yeah,
happy.
you got the Dustin Johnson masters. How's that feel?
Wow, it sort of is that.
And now you're retired.
Yeah, Josh is
Yeah,
retired.
I'm gonna go
we
to another
famously
podcast and fuck off.
did not have a point system set up. So uh the PGA last year was the first time we had that.
Let it be
And
known that I should have won 3 out of the 4 majors, but I gave one to Josh because I'm nice.
I won with the rules that we played.
that's true.
On the prize front, I wanted to throw something out there. Avery ran this by me last night, and I was thinking maybe for like the Masters, we could do like we buy like this really cheap green jacket knockoff, and maybe we can find a way to like get like our podcast logo on it or
Oh my
something cool like
God.
that.
So we're
And
gonna have
it's
to
like
find
That
the
two
would be
the
things.
golf
We're gonna have to
shenanigans
find.
green jacket.
We're gonna
So
have to
we
find
either
a
do
green
that.
jacket and then make a logo too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta make a logo first. But I love that idea. We could either do that for the Masters and then do something else for the other, or that could be like our season champion prize,
I
Hmm.
and
definitely
we get to
think we
wear
should
that
have
all
a
off season.
season. I definitely think we should have a season ending, like most points, however we decide to do it. But
and
we
we
should
could
definitely
Well,
also
the
have like a
wins,
season ending.
the wins matter the most.
They
yeah.
do. So we either crown most wins or we crown most points.
You got to
However,
crown most wins, and then you
uh,
go by points for the tie break.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
We
point.
could also make these kind of funny looking like
I,
trophies that replicate like the actual like major
I mean,
championship trophies
in
too.
Have a
reality,
3D
the
printer.
FedEx, the
What?
FedEx Cup means nothing, even though our boy Sepp Straka just lost the number one spot. How heartbreaking! But the FedEx Cup, no one cares except the actual golfers. So like, I'll happily take the title of FedEx Cup champion, but that doesn't mean that I won two majors, you know? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, Scotty won the FedEx Cup, but you know what? Xander got two majors.
Yeah. I don't
So
know how you would go about doing that, but
so yeah, like I could add like a stat where it says like points champion. How many times were you the points champion or whatever, but that's besides the point. Uh prizes. I love the jacket idea. Uh do we do that just for the Masters or for like the season long trophy basically?
the only thing with the Masters jacket too is like, how are we gonna pass it from person to person? We're not all
Oh,
gonna be living together all the time.
we'll see each other at some point for sure, and if not, we'll just mail it.
Wow.
All right, you don't have to worry about mailing it to me because I'm never gonna win. So
We could just
it'll
like
just
buy
come
new
between
ones
you
every
guys.
year, depending on how much it costs.
Whoa.
Like,
No, you can't. If you win it a second
It's the
time, you
jacket,
only get the
Josh.
original one back.
I forget about that. It's so
Yeah.
weird. The
Really?
prestige of
I
this,
didn't even know that. Wow,
the
fake
prestige of
golf
this.
fan right here.
It's funny.
But we could do the jacket for just the Masters if we could come up with something else for the other majors.
I think it would be kind of cool if Josh could somehow print like a mini Wanamaker and
I
like
might be able to do
a
that.
mini
Like,
claret jug
That
and
that
a
actually be
could
mini
be
so
US Open
possible.
funny.
trophy. That would be fucking badass.
Yeah,
Mm,
I would have 2 miniature trophies. That would be fucking awesome.
that would
that'd
be
be really
neat.
cool.
I'll look into that.
Definitely will lose them at some point, but
Somebody's gonna win the Grand Slam and be like, "My house got broken into, dude. They're all gone."
Some Robert is gonna walk and be like, "Man, is that a claret jug?
Is that a
I'm gonna
claret
steal,
jug?
I'm
I'm
gonna steal
taking
that
that.
thing."
we're gonna be like 55 years old, and we're just gonna somebody's gonna come over and be like, "You won 10
Yo, what?
Masters? What?"
Yeah, it is
He's like, the
interesting though,
green
'cause,
jacket's
like,
gotta be around here somewhere, and he like goes in the closet. He's like, "Oh my god, there it is."
if we did end up like 3D printing like a claret jug at like 85% the size, that's actually
Oh
how
my
the real
God,
trophy is though.
that's
Like
so
the
big.
trophy that they get is 85% of the size of the actual claret jug.
I don't
Hmm.
think that's feasible. That's too big,
It's
and
not.
we're
No,
gonna
I'm
be
just saying. I'm
doing that
just
all
saying
the
it
time.
would be cool how like we would have
Yeah.
like a mini, like that's how they do it. So why wouldn't we do the same?
Mhm.
Like, we
Yeah.
wouldn't do it
Okay.
to that scale, but we would have a 20% the size, but it would be cool.
A little
It's definitely a
Mhm.
cool
Lego,
idea
a
that we're
Lego
gonna look
figure
into
of a
Yeah.
for
trophy.
sure. Yeah.
It would be super
Yeah.
sick if I can get our names on it too somehow.
Yeah,
Like,
like
We could
3D print
like
one every year that has.
God,
Oh
that'd
my
be
god, dude!
sick.
Now we're getting crazy. Now we're getting crazy.
We're gonna look into the
we
Masters.
could
We're gonna
probably
look at the
chisel
budget
our
for that.
names in there.
Yeah, it would be cool. Okay, this would be cool. Is like you print the claret jug, and like let's say like I won it last year. I don't know if I did. I don't remember, but um,
I did.
you did. So you get the claret jug that's printed small, and then you just put like 2024 on the bottom, Avery Kindred, and then the next year you would just put 2025
Yeah.
Carson Linville, but you don't have to put everybody's every single time because it's such a small trophy.
Yeah,
It's just like
Mhm.
each individual one. That would be really, really cool if we could do that.
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of
You
fun.
may have won the season last year, but I am the champion golfer of the year or the champion drafter of the year.
Champion drafter of the year.
Yeah.
That's what I have it in our doc.
I
Avery
won-
is the champion drafter of the year.
I
So
thought you had that
Masters was
just for
Josh.
you, but I looked and you do have that for everybody. So good on you, Avery.
Masters was Josh, Open Championship was you, and then I had the 2 others.
Yep.
Got a defense
Just-
coming up.
Just wanted to clarify that Jizz had 0.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, that's all right. I'm the champion worst drafter of the year.
What
so.
if we go
And-
like 5 years of doing this and Jizz just doesn't win?
That'd be awesome.
That
We're
would
gonna
be
get, like,
unbelievable.
The
pod gets-
storylines.
the pod gets 5 years old and it's just minus $10,000 for Andrew every year. You guys are all
You're
in
at
the green,
negative.
it's just
You're at
me.
negative points.
Andrew's gonna come to us one day and be like, "Guys, I have to stop doing the podcast. I can't afford this. I
Dude,
can't
my
afford
entire
losing all
paycheck
this
from this
money."
podcast.
I'm gonna
is
go to like a
going you
financial
and the draft.
advisor and he's like, "Where are you spending all this money?" I'm just like, "Well, it's kind of this major draft thing that we do every year. I just can't really." I lost a lot of money doing it. So
I think we just came up with some pretty good ideas, though. That was
Yeah,
a lot
Mm.
better than I thought it was going to be thinking about prizes, honestly. Like,
yeah, that could be fun.
Any other ideas other than 3D printed trophies and a jacket?
I honestly think those are the best ideas we could come up with.
yeah,
Like, if we could
Yeah.
somehow get a fake green jacket that we could put something on it to like signify the year that you've won, and then have mini major trophies that are the same replicas. I mean, that is fucking badass.
It would be really
Mhm.
cool.
That would be so fun.
and to kind of go back to the FedEx Cup standing kind of thing, if you think the overall draft for the entire year, and this includes like every tournament, we can do that, and then all buy the best drafter, like a round of golf, because I'm gonna be last place.
You.
So last
li-
place buys first place a round of golf for the FedEx Cup.
So I get a free round of golf from Jizz this year.
Yeah. So whoever gets first place is gonna get a free round of golf. From
What
me.
about last year? Does that count?
No?
Oh, come on.
No.
How come we're changing all these rules after I won everything?
No.
What if we
Welcome to
made
my
a
world.
trophy, like a trophy where it had all 4 of the trophies on it, and it was for the winner of the major season?
The
See what
Wanna
you're
Claret
saying.
Master Jug.
Wow,
we
that
can-
was impressive that you actually just came up with that. Sounded
Say that
clean.
again.
I don't know if I could. I don't even think I could say it clean again. The Wanamaker Claret jug. I don't
You
know.
said the Wanamaker. What did you say?
There,
I'm
Master
gonna have to
Jug.
re-listen to that. That was good though.
Can we roll the
Wanna-
clip? Can we roll
The
the
Wanamaker
What did just
Claret.
The
Oh, you said
Wanna-
the
the
Wanamaker
Wanna
Claret
Claret-
Masters jug.
The
The
Wanna
Wanna
Claret Master Jug.
The
Right.
Wanna Claret Masters
Wanna
jug.
Claret Master Jug.
That's funny.
it's just
I
a-
actually like that.
The Wanna Claret Master Jug.
We gotta find a way to like combine all the trophies, like take aspects
Well,
from one. and then-
I'm sure,
Build it up.
Josh, we could find a 3D model of all of those on whatever. And then all we would have to really do is make a base and then basically just glue them on top.
It's like 4
Yeah.
pieces in. It's just like the Masters like house on, or like the Masters like clubhouse on one of them, and then there's like the claret jug, and then there's the Wanamaker, and it's just the
These are
US
some
Open.
great ideas, actually. I'm actually
then,
hyped if we can.
if
I
that's
thought it
just
was
the
I'm
one
gonna- I'm not gonna lie,
trophy-
I thought I was gonna get flamed for that. I'm not
And-
gonna
No,
lie.
that was good.
If it's just the one trophy and the base is big enough, we could just say Carson 2024, and that's it. And then you get to have it for the year until whoever wins it again, or the next year.
If that does
then
get
it'll say
3D printed, we
whoever.
can get a little like label that just like pops off, and like Carson can keep like the Carson like 2024 or like FedEx champion or whatever, golf shenanigans
Mhm.
champion or whatever.
That's a good idea too. Yeah. Damn.
Hmm.
Look at us.
Shout
Brainstorm.
out
What if-
3D
ideating.
printer?
Yeah, you get the trophy and a jacket, or should
Or
we
if
just
you're
do
me,
the
you
Masters
get nothing.
jacket, or you just do
I
have
think it
them
would be
both be
cool
for the season
if the
champ?
Masters was just the jacket.
Yeah.
Like the Masters is so special. It deserves its
Like
own
you get-
special thing.
Like you want to win the Masters. Yeah, okay, I'm in on that. The
Yeah.
Masters gets the jacket. All the other majors, I mean, the trophies are sick. Like the Wanamaker is pretty sick. The Claret Jug
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah.
Sorry, and the U.S. Open is pretty sick. Like they're all,
Yeah.
but like
They're
they're
all
not
sick
the
trophies.
Masters.
Totally.
So like the jacket's better than the trophy. Low key kind of blows.
Yeah, it's a pretty mid trophy. I mean,
I
everybody wants
like
to
that.
win.
It's the
They always
clubhouse is
say
kind of
they
cool
want to
looking.
win the green jacket. That's what everybody
That-
says.
That's a hot take because I think the trophy's kind of sick. But I mean, don't get me wrong. The jacket is obviously what you want, but I think the trophy's pretty freaking cool.
I'm gonna cut
I don't
that.
hate
I'm
it.
gonna cut that. If Augusta sees that, I'll never play there. So
It's it's got to be the
Avery goes
worst
to the
trophy of the four.
Avery goes to the Masters in 2027, and they're like, they stop him at the gate. It's like, yeah, sir, you can't come here.
you don't like our trophy.
The Augusta trophy has to be the worst of the four.
And that's the
Right?
I'm
best.
on
It's the
board
best.
with Andrew. I kind of like it.
Really?
Thanks, Joe.
It's
I
just like the
appreciate that.
detail
Maybe
of
it's
the
just
clubhouse.
too big. I don't know. It is. I don't. No one cares. I'm gonna stop bad mouthing Augusta.
It does sort of look awkward. It looks like a cake, like they're holding a cake.
It does look awkward. That's
They
why
go
it's
down
like
to like
this
the local
long, flat
Walmart.
rectangle.
Yeah, you can't like kiss it like they do. Like everything else, they always
It's
kiss the
gotta
trophy.
be
Like this
so
one, you're like,
heavy.
yeah. We
You're
love
gonna kiss-
Augusta though. We want to play
You're gonna,
Augusta.
you're gonna kiss the roof of the trophy? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Please, Augusta National.
Please, we love you.
We're just
Well, I
like trying to
think we
watch the
got it.
Masters this year, and we just can't watch it. They're just
I
like, yeah,
think we got it figured out. We're gonna make a trophy for the
Yeah.
season-long champ, and then we'll have the jacket. We got to find a jacket. We'll
Yeah,
do some
certainly
research,
we can
and
find
then
a
we
freaking cheap
got to
jacket.
make a logo,
Yep.
and it could say, well, I guess yeah. I'll have to figure out what the Masters jacket actually just looks like, or what kind of embroidery they have, but we'll have our logo on it as opposed to the Masters logo. But we could have it say like Masters Champ or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Or
think
it's a
we,
more if you know kind of thing,
yeah. We've got some
and only
homework
the
to
four
do
of us know.
to figure this out, but we just came up with some damn good ideas.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad I added that on at the end.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So I don't think I have anything else. You guys have anything else?
I don't think
I'm
so.
good.
Awesome. I think that
drop
was
in the comments what made or like what drafts you would like to see for different tournaments this year. I mean, because I know we did the players, because I think that's a pretty big tournament. But if there's any other tournaments, like signature events, you guys want us to draft for, or if you guys
we
want to
did
draft,
kick that idea around.
yeah,
I'm kind of on the end of like I think we're good with where we're at, but
yeah.
if
If
we do
people
like
want to see
a
it, we'll give them what they want.
we'll get it is
Give
fun
the
to
people
draft.
what they want.
We could do something. We might be able to do something.
Yeah.
Maybe Andrew, you're just a phenomenal PGA Tour player. You're Tommy Fleetwood.
But just can't win.
But just
Oh
can't
wait, no,
win.
no, I'm sorry. Take it back. Not Tommy Fleetwood. You're like you're Lee Westwood. You're Ricky Fowler. No, Ricky doesn't even win on the PGA Tour.
He has a Players Championship. Speaking of
We
players,
will see you again another time. I don't know when. We'll definitely be doing a Masters draft. We might be trying to do another recap after one of these Texas events. We'll see, but we'll definitely be here before and after the Masters. So thank you all for listening. If you somehow made it this far, super long episodes for a brand new podcast. I'm sure that plays really well, but we applaud you if you've made it this far, and we will see you next time.